All right, welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be doing one of my favorite things is Mexican food. Today we are going to make some green chilies. These are fresh green chilies or green hatch chilies that I had found at our local supermarket. They always come around or about in early August. So this is hatch chili season. The best part about doing it is you got to make sure that you roast them a little bit to get the skin off. The best you can, kind of softens it up and makes it for a little better tasting chili. So I'm going to throw them onto a grill. If you've ever been out to like Colorado, you'll know that they're well known for their green chili sauces out there. And the one thing you'll always find at a good green chili place is that they'll have a roaster out back roasting these chilies non-stop. Now, I've also got some garlic, threw a little bit of olive oil on them. I'm going to roast those up a little bit as well. And since I don't have a chili roaster, I'm just doing them on my Weber grill. And all I'm really looking for is for them to get black on the outside, just to char them up. This really shouldn't take too long, so this would always be a good thing. Like if you're grilling something up, maybe do these right before you're grilling up something. That way you're not using a lot of charcoal. Or if you're just going to be making a lot of green chilies. Because what you can do is you can get these all charred up, throw them in a bag, and freeze them. And then when you're ready to use them throughout the year, since they only come around once time a year, that you can peel them off then. So once you thaw them back out. So today I'm going to be making the green chili all the way around, so I'm not going to freeze them today. See, as you can see, they're already getting a little charred. They don't take too long. You can also do these in the oven. Place them on a cookie sheet pan and just let them, I would put them underneath a broil surface just to kind of get them blackened up a little bit. If you have a gas stove, you can lay them out over the stoves, over the burners. See that one, this one here, that one's getting really good. We just flipped it over. We'll get these going. All you're really doing is blistering the skins off. Oof, it's getting hot. Get this charcoal in there. Get that garlic in there. The garlic's going to end up taking a little bit longer, so just kind of keeping it on there, close to the grill, as close to the charcoals as possible. I got the charcoal spread out kind of in the middle to give me more of a cooking surface. And these are getting pretty close. They don't take too long. Oh, there's a good one. This is one of my favorite dishes to put over some breakfast. Make some enchiladas with it. It's a really good, it's got a little bit of spice to it, but not overly spicy. It's a really good chili to have. You can even cut these up after you're done taking the skins off and use them for pretty much anything you'd want to put some sort of heat to. All right, and the only thing we're going to end up doing is putting them in this Ziploc bag, letting them sit in there for about 15 to 20 minutes, and the skins will just peel right off. That's how you would do almost any pepper that you need the skin off. All right, so now as they're getting down there, just going to slowly kind of put them in there when they're starting to look good. Ooh. Yeah, this is definitely hot today. Keep that one on there a little bit longer. It's a nice hot 80 degrees and it's only about 8 o'clock in the morning, so it is already hot today. Nice hot August day to be cooking some peppers. All right, only a few left here. They're kind of a little bit of odd shaped ones, so they didn't really lay flat. So these ones will take a little bit longer. All right, we are getting there. And to make this sauce, we're going to use about 7 to 8 of them. I got about 12 or 14 in there. So I'm going to end up making like a batch and a half of this green chili. This is one of my favorite additions to add to any type of meal. And only really if they're made with fresh hatch peppers. That's the way that they should be made. You can use the canned stuff, but I like to make sure that they're fresh peppers. Like I said, you could use these any time of year. You get to manipulate the flavor on them. All right, we're gonna leave that on there for a little bit. Close the garlic on there. Close this up, and all I'm gonna do now from here on out is just Ziploc this up and let it sit. You'll see the steam gets into there. You can already see it's already steaming up really nice. Those are gonna get nice and soft. That skin's gonna peel right off. And we'll let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes and we'll be peeling them. The best thing to peel them with is some paper towel. If you have some rubber gloves, if your hands are got some cuts or whatever on them that they're sensitive, whatever, you would do that. Put some rubber gloves on. Other than that, just peel them with some paper towel. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are gonna do the green chilies. I've already did some of them just to kind of save some time, and pulling these out of the bag. I got 2 of them here just to show you how quick and easy this is. Basically, once they get that moisture from the bag, it just gets underneath that skin, and you're just basically gonna massage it off. And it's probably a good idea too to do this over like a bowl that you're going to throw stuff away to make it easier on the cleanup. Otherwise, it can get to be a messy job if you're doing them all. So you got that one. And as you can see, the darker, the more blistered skin you get, the better off you are going to get to peel it off. So it may look burnt on when you're cooking them up and roasting them, but once you peel them off, they look really good. So we're just about done there. And they also, it comes off really nice and easy that way. All right, so we got that off. Now we're gonna cut off the top of it. Gonna kind of split it down the middle just to kind of get these seeds out. And all I'm gonna do is just scrape it out. All right, get those seeds out of there. And throw it in the blender. Do the same with this one. So just down the middle and scrape those seeds out the back of your knife, and there you go. So that part's done. And in the background, if you can hear that already, I've got some onions already kind of sweating down in there. I threw the garlic in here, the roasted garlic that we had out there. I threw both cloves in there just because they were kind of smaller cloves of garlic. And then here I've got some chicken broth. I'm just going to throw in just about a tablespoon or 2, just to kind of get some liquid in there. Get this on. And sorry for the noise here. Just gonna pulsate it up a little bit. All right, it's looking a little dry yet, so I'm gonna add a little bit more chicken broth to it. Maybe a couple more tablespoons. Just kind of keep track of what you started with. I've started with 3 cups. For about 8 peppers, you're gonna want to use about a cup of broth. So I'm doing like a cup. I'm doing like double, almost double recipe. So at least close to 2 cups. So I'm just gonna make sure what I got in there. And then also it goes by however thick you want it. If you want a runny sauce, throw more in there. If you want it thicker, keep less out. So now all I'm basically looking for is that this is going to be kind of like a good paste. I don't want really too many clumps with this part. Yeah, it's looking really good here. All right. It smells really good. Nice spice to it. You can smell the roasted garlic in there. Now that is really good. All right, we're going to finish this off here in a second. All right, we're ready to start. We got our onions are caramelized in there. I've put a little bit of olive oil in there to get the onion sweat down, and some little bit of salt to help get it down there a little bit. Now I'm going to add the green chili part. Get my spoon out of there and grab a rubber spatula to get it all out. All right. And these hatch chilies usually aren't that expensive. I think this year I paid about $1 a pound for them, which ended up being roughly about 10 peppers. So I mean, you can get, they do end up being fairly cheap on the pepper side. So I've got that in there. I'll let that cook down just a tiny bit. And in here I've got a little bit of salt because I've already added salt to the onions. The chicken broth is already going to be a little salty. So just a little bit of salt, black pepper, some Mexican oregano, and some cumin. And that's all I'm going to add to it. So I really want to taste those green chilies and this nice onion and roasted garlic. So I'm going to just add that in there. Let that cook in. You could add it just before the green chilies just to kind of get it a little cooked up a little bit. All right, just kind of toast them up with that onion. Now this is looking pretty good. Now this is fairly thick. As you can see, it's kind of like the consistency of a peanut butter, or maybe a little bit thinner than that. So I'm going to add, see, it looks like I've already added about a cup, so I'm going to add about another cup more of chicken broth. There we go. And this is looking pretty good. Now I'm going to let this cook down and simmer. I'm going to get it up to just a little bit of a boil. Get that chicken broth hot again. And that's looking pretty good. I like it like a little bit thicker. That way I could use it over like a burrito or my tacos. More of like, almost kind of like a paste, but not as thick. Almost kind of like a gravy, like a thick gravy. I like to even pour it over some like hash browns, put some eggs down, sausage, and then pour it over the top of all that. Now that's pretty good. All right, we're gonna let that simmer down. One good thing is too is just see where you want it at, is to get yourself a spoon, and you should always taste throughout. See where you're at with it. See what you want to do with it. If I don't say that enough in my videos, you should definitely taste your product all the way through. That's pretty looking, tasting pretty good. That's got some nice heat from those chilies. I can taste the roasted garlic in there. And a little bit of saltiness from the chicken broth. I can definitely taste, just use a little bit of cumin because that's coming through pretty decently. I used about a pinch or so of cumin. And I can definitely taste the oregano. It's pretty good. You don't need much seasoning, just a little bit. I probably had a total with everything combined about a tablespoon. Yeah, that's tasting pretty good. That's looking pretty good. I'm just going to let that simmer for, I don't know, probably a good 20 minutes or so. And then that'll be good. So you could put this, you could start using whatever you want with it. Be ready for your, if you're ready for breakfast, throw it on your eggs. If you're ready for lunch, throw it on taco or burrito. If you're not ready and you want to use it for another time, throw it in a container, freeze it, throw it in the fridge. It'll last for, a few days in the fridge. Throw it in the freezer. It'll last a little bit longer. But that's made from fresh chilies. That's amazing stuff. It's, I would buy a bunch of chilies and freeze them, and roast them off and freeze them for, they'll last you about a year. I would buy a bunch of them at a time. What you think you're going to go through? Because you only get them one time a year, and that's it. At least where I live. So there's that, and then they use them anytime. They're ready for, it's good stuff. You can't taste you don't taste the vinegariness that you would get out of a can. It's fresh, clean, good, really good pepper. So we're gonna let that sit, like I said, 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna probably freeze it because I'm not gonna eat it today. And then I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it at another time. I'll throw it in another video. All right, we'll see you guys. Have a good day.